Hello, my name's Katie and welcome to my shed. It's a bit chilly. I think you're going to get bored of hearing that, 'cause I'm going to say it every week for the next probably 10 weeks or more. Where are we now? It's going to be more than that. It's going to be more like 16 weeks before it starts warming up. So get used to it. Weather watch with Katie. Anyway, I'm such a loser. I'm sitting here giggling to myself over rubbish that I'm saying. It's not even funny. Anyway, how are you? I think there are just some weeks where I don't have my self together and things are either funnier or sadder than they need to be. This week I caught myself sobbing at like, I don't know what it is, like a YouTube short, I guess it was, about dogs. It wasn't even a sad, it was quite sweet, but I was sobbing because I'm a loser. So clearly my emotions are all over the show this week, which probably tells you more about me than I should share. But there you go. Okay, let's talk art, because that's probably what you're here for rather than my weird ramblings. I really loved, last week I did the mixed media still life, and actually I really enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed playing with the paints and mark making, and was planning on doing something similar this week. However, fate had other ideas, and my mum at the beginning of the week gave me, these might blind you, but takeaway lids. She had loads of them, and she gave them to me and said, "Oh, I wondered if," she doesn't talk like that. Oh, that would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? She wondered if I could use them for doing instead of the Tetra Pak printing, whether they would work for that. So I thought I'd give that a go. And then in the same week, I saw a YouTube short of someone using them for monoprinting, so I might give that a go as well. So I'm going to try both techniques and see if it works. Or I could just use them for bouncing light around and maybe making the room warmer. I think we will keep the designs pretty simple, just so that we can have a play with the technique rather than worrying about too much about the image. They are quite thin, so I'm not sure if they'll work like Tetra Paks, because there's probably not as many layers, but we'll give it a go, and then we'll do some monoprinting as well and see what happens. And this week it's not mine, it's the workshop's, our new X-Cut came, so we could use that, although it's right next to the other one, which is my old one, and they're both exactly the same. But for the purpose of checking it works, maybe we could use that. Right, guess what I'm going to do? You're right, I'm going to tidy up. And then we'll do some printing. Well, this is a bit weird. You've got the reflection of the camera, but I can't see how else to do it. Maybe like, there we go. That's better, isn't it? All of the dry point tools are in my other shed, and it's cold, so I don't really want to go outside. So I've got a scalpel, I've got a skewer, and I might find a hard pencil, an HB pencil as well. And I want to keep it really simple, so I might do, should we keep it festive? A Christmas tree or a bauble? Let's do a tree. Let's turn it around that way. Okay. So we'll probably, I'll mark it, I'll draw it out, and then I'll use the scalpel to pull away some bits that I want to be super dark. So I could do the whole tree really dark actually, but let's draw it out first. I'm going to keep it simple. Okay, see if this lifts up. Yeah, it does. It's definitely not as robust as the Tetra Pak, but it peels off, you can see there. Okay, what I'm going to do, rather than lifting it up this time, I'm just going to use this to draw. and see what different textures we can get. And then we will use this one to do a star. And then the pencil to do, what are we doing with the pencil? Any ideas? Let's just do some like tree shapes. I mean, this is pretty enough. I wonder if I could do some more texture on here actually. Whether that will. It's got enough oomph to it. Okay, let's give this a whirl. I didn't show you me inking it up because I've shown that loads of times on different videos and it's not that exciting. I'm sure this is gonna do what we want it to do. There's not really much pressure on there. Just need to add a bit of paper. Sometimes you just need to add an extra layer of paper or something just to increase the pressure. It's a bit better. Let's see what this has done. I'm not holding up high hopes because there wasn't a lot of ink left on the plate once I'd wiped it back. Okay. I mean, yeah, you got this, but none of the other marks have come out, but that wasn't a big surprise. Okay, let us go to do some monoprinting instead. Okay, so this time I'm going to basically roller the ink on and then we'll remove the ink to create an image that we'll print. Probably should have used a bigger roller. I figured this one would do, but maybe do with a tiny bit more ink, just a tiny bit. Okay, because it's dried on a little bit too much. Just making sure all of my lines are married up because I don't like it too messy, or I don't want it messy in this instance. Okay, now if I had cotton buds, I do, just don't know where they are. Cotton buds would be perfect for this, but I don't know where in this shed they are. So instead I have got my skewer. I've got a little rubber thing, don't know what that's for. I've got an old brush and I've got a bit of tissue. So that's what we're going to use because I don't really want to spend hours messing around with this when I don't really know whether or not the process will work. So we'll have a play. I'm just making myself a little tissue roll to clean it up with. We'll have a play and then we'll decide whether we want to take it further forward. Okay, so I'm going to use this hard old brush to get off some of the ink. If you can hear anything today, there's an event going on near me and it's very noisy. This isn't taking enough off, is it? In fact, it's taking nothing off. Let's go with tissue instead. was harder than it should have been, I think. Right, let's do this, a bit of paper. Let's see what happens. Not sure if I've gone a bit heavy on the ink, if I'm honest, but see if this one worked any better than the last one. I mean, there's no detail here. I don't know if that's just because the ink was a bit thick. Might just try and do a repeat print. Not do anything to the plate. I'll just see what happens. I mean, I quite like the ghostliness of it, but yeah, quite interesting. Right, I'm going to quickly go and wash up and go and get some cotton buds. Okay, I've just printed that one. Not much better, if I'm honest. So I mean, you can get some quite interesting textures. But I don't think it's going to be the sort of printmaking that I fall in love with. It could potentially be something quite fun for workshops though, because it is pretty easy. But I don't like the way that the ink slides around on it and you can't lift it off very easily. So I don't think I will pursue it. Hello. I just realised that I didn't do an introduction. I didn't talk about these prints, and so I thought I'd better come on and do that. So I'm going to apologise now. It's really windy outside, so if it feels like the shed's shaking, it's probably because it is. So let's look at these prints. So this was the first one we did. It is now dry, and I think it probably looks better now it's dried, or maybe my but maybe my expectations have changed. So I thought it was rubbish, and now I've come in and actually I don't mind it too much. And then that was the second print I did, which was using the exact same one without re-inking it or anything. I really like the sky on that one, but it does feel like it lacks a little bit of contrast that you get with this one. So yeah, I do like it. I think I probably could have got that effect if I'd have lifted it with some tissue paper or something a little bit more. I do quite like them, and this one less so. I mean, it's quite cute, but doesn't really do anything for me. But I think it would be quite a easy technique to do with my daughter. I just think that either I need to use a different ink, and I have got some other ones. I've got an SD one which might lift easier than that ink does. That might have worked better. But that being said, there is quite a lot of detail in these marks down here. Not so much up here where there was just too much ink, but I do like them. I think I'll probably cut them up and pop them with cards. And the good thing is, because they've got that nice shape from the lid, if I cut this square, I won't need to do any kind of mount or anything. I'll just be able to stick that straight onto the cards. Not sure what I'm going to do with him. Anyway, let's make these two into cards. We'll do that now, and then we'll say goodbye, I think. Okay, here are my two little Christmas cards. Yeah, really simple, really easy. And I would say you don't actually need the press. If I'd have just inked it up and rubbed it, I think I would have got the same, you know, maybe not quite as dense an image, but I would have got the same type of image. So don't feel like you have to have a press to be able to do this at home. Okay, so that is it done. I'm not going to do anything with the Robin one, but I think these two I can use for Christmas cards. So, yes, so let me know if there is anything else that you think I could use to monoprint with. I mean, you can use anything. I have got a silicone plate thing, baking mat, not the proper jelly plate because they're quite pricey. And I've used that, but I'm not sure I'm a massive fan. And even when I look at the jelly plate images, again, I don't know that I love them, so I'm not sure that I will rush out to buy one of those. Maybe if I see one in the charity shop I might get it, but just for the purpose of playing. Okay, I think this one's going to be like a super quick video, so it might just be a little midweek special surprise video, because the next one is going to be quite long, so I don't really want to merge it with this one. Does that make sense? Because otherwise it will be one video that's massively long and doesn't join up in any way. So I'm going to sign off with these and start my next video. So I'll be in the same clothes and it'll be the same grey day and I'll have a new smile on. Right, have a lovely day and I will see you soon. Bye.